Well, Happy New Year! Welcome to Planning Center University. My name is Aaron Stewart. I am the co-founder of Planning Center and I'm the product manager of Planning Center Services. And I'm excited to help you start this new year out right, learning how to do the best organization and worship planning that you possibly can. Now, Planning Center Services is a product that does quite a few things. It's one of the products made by Planning Center, and it's our product that is made to both plan your worship services and like songs and music, and also to schedule all the volunteers in your church. Today's course is going to be about the worship planning part of it, and then I will be doing another course tomorrow that is going to be about the scheduling side and about all the volunteer and team management stuff. But today we're going to be talking about how to plan your service and how to organize your music and media. Now, this class is going to start out for people that are setting up from scratch. You know nothing about Planning Center. You just started the new year up by clicking sign up for services. You're ready to start out. That's where we're going to start. We're going to start from a totally blank account, and I'm going to walk you through setting it up. And then the second half of the class is going to be, once you kind of have things set up, how to be more efficient, and then how to also be more organized. So starting from scratch, and then later we're going to talk about efficiency and organization. So, one of the most important things that you can learn today is where to get help. Help is free and it's fast in Planning Center. From the top right of any of our products is a big question mark up here, and when you click that question mark, that opens our help portal, and that is going to show you some suggested articles from our documentation. You can type a question or you can contact our support team. Now, our support team will respond to you within 1 hour business hours or less. It's the very beginning of the day, so their queue is a little bit high. As the day wears on, this will be a little bit lower. Right now, you'd get a response in 60 minutes. Most of the time, it's going to be even less than that. But if you don't, if you want to actually find things for yourselves, you can actually just type any question in here, like how to add a song, and then you're going to find different articles in there that are going to explain those things. So you definitely want to remember about the question mark to get to the help box there. That is also where you can submit feature requests. If you have things that you wish Planning Center did, but it doesn't do right now, we listen to those, and we're constantly updating the software based on what you are suggesting for us. And then after this is all done, you can rewatch this at any time. You can send it to your friends. Anybody can watch this on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/planningcenter, or at planningcenter.com/university, where you will find all the other courses on Planning Center. And we record these fresh 3 times a year so that they're always updated. And so this is our first one of 2021. So excited. I rub my hands together like this when I'm excited, but also when it's cold, and our office has been shut for months. And so we came in today and it was like 50 degrees. It is still barely warmer than 60, so I'm still cold. I'm gonna fake being so nice and warm here today, but now you'll know if I seem cold, it's because I am. So here we go, let's get started. You're a brand new user. You log into Planning Center Services for the first time, and this is what you are greeted with. Welcome to Services. Before you can start planning, you need to add a service type. You might not even know what that is. It's okay, just click the button and we'll find out. So right here, let's click Add a Service Type. And ooh, this looks nice and friendly. A service type is a type of service that happens at your church. They usually recur weekly and are named using the main name you communicate to your congregation. For example, the contemporary service, a traditional service, high school service, special events, Wednesday night. Okay, awesome. Well, we're gonna call ours contemporary service. I could type it in. If you have something, name something different, you can just type it in, or you can just click on one of these if it's already the right one. So that's what I'm gonna do. My contemporary service, it happens weekly. Perfect, next. Let's add times, okay, let's click. Okay, when can people attend the contemporary service? Add service times for the first date you would like to plan below. Okay, so let's plan for this coming up Sunday, January 10th. It already knows that it's probably a Sunday, so it chose the 10th for me. 8 a.m. No, actually ours is at 9 a.m. Ooh, and it just made it an hour long for me. But we do 9 and 11 a.m. for our contemporary service, so I'm gonna add another service time here. And it chose 10:30, but I'm gonna choose 11 a.m. Perfect. So from 9 to 10, and then from 11 to 12. Awesome. Now next, let's add teams. We're not going to talk about this too much, but if you have some teams that you are responsible for, I personally am responsible for the band and the vocals, or you might just have one team called the worship team or the praise team. You would choose these. You can also create your own from scratch later. I'm just going to choose those now and click finish. So this is going to make me a service type called contemporary service, and it's going to make me a plan within that service type for January the 10th. So I'm in the January 10th plan for the contemporary service. Awesome. And over here to the left, I can see I have some service times for 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Awesome. So the first step is done. Let's start putting our service order together. So over in the main right-hand part of this page, we are on the order tab. So there's no items for this plan. Let's add our first item. So you could click here, or you can also click add at the top right. So let's click to add our first item. And okay, it opens up a sidebar over here for editing the item, and it's already selected, so I can just type. Let's add the message, and then I can hit tab, or I can click. I'm gonna hit tab and go, the message is 30 minutes. You can time out your service or not. It's up to you. Perfect. And now I'm going to scroll down and see what else is available on this page. Okay, so I've got a description, I've got notes. Person, I want to say who's preaching the message. So I'm going to say Pastor Allen is preaching the message. Great, that's it. So I'm just going to hit enter and done. Okay, so the message is added to my plan. Awesome. So now let's add a song. Okay, so now that I've added my first item, I have to add all my additional items up here from the add button. So I'm gonna click this green add button, and I have a couple of options. I can add item, header, song, or media. We're gonna do a song. So I'm just gonna click, because clicking one of these will add that thing to the very end of the order. So I'm gonna click song, and it opens up my song library over here. Okay, let's get your library started. Add new songs from the button at the top right. Okay, well, yeah, new. I want to add a new song because there's no songs here. Services does not come with any songs. It helps you organize your library and build up a library, and we integrate with other places, but you actually have to create the songs that you want to put in, but it's real easy. So let's do that now. So here we go. Let's click new. And I want to add the song Who You Say I Am. Who You Say... Oh, awesome. Okay, so it is searching all the songs that Planning Center knows about, and it can search in two different ways. So you can see here, right now it's searching for popular recordings. So these are recorded versions of the song. If you do yours based off of a recording, here it is. Now, if you have your own song or a song that's not listed here, you can switch over to this All Songs tab. And that will search CCLI's entire list of songs, even the ones that maybe don't have popular recordings. But I'm going to stick with this, popular recordings. Yeah, this Hillsong Worship, this is the version I want to do. So I'm going to click this. Because it's a popular recording, we know a lot more about it. So we know that we're going to call the name of this particular arrangement of the song the Hillsong Worship. They do it in G flat. My guitar players will strike, so I'm going to give them a capo, and let's say capo in E. That sounds good. I'm going to skip adding tags. We'll show you that later. But I do want to upload some files. So upload or link more files. Yeah, I do want to upload or link files here while I'm creating the song. Even if you don't click this, you can go and do it later. But this is like, do you want to do it now? So yes, I do want to upload or link more files. So that changes this button to next, more files. Awesome. So let's click. Okay, it made me the song, and now, wow, I've got a lot of options for files. Let's just start with a really easy one. A lot of people have a subscription to SongSelect, and SongSelect gives you charts. So let's set that up now. So over here, we have all the different ways on the left that we can upload, that we can put files. So you can upload your own files, you can link to files, but here's a tab for SongSelect. Awesome. If you subscribe, anyone with editor permissions can import lyrics or chord charts. Great. Okay, so it's not enabled, so let's enable it. So when we click enable, this is going to open up a new tab, and it's going to ask you to put in your song select name and password. So I have a password manager that did it fast. That's why it happened so fast. But you would put in your song select username and password. And once you put that in, it's going to say, do you allow Planning Center to get to your song select stuff? Yes, I do. So click allow. It takes me right back to services here. And this yellow banner shows me once you're finished connecting your account, please refresh to see the changes. Okay, so I'm going to click refresh and oh, great. It worked. I am connected to Song Select, and so I can import the lyrics. Yep, that's already checked. And I'm going to import the chart in G flat. Perfect. So let's click submit. So I click submit. It has now added Who You Say I Am right there to the bottom of my set list. I've clicked on it, and so here I'm editing it. And when I scroll down here, you'll see there are the notes, but over here to the right, there's a Files tab. And it has a little 3 because there are now 3 files. Not only did it bring in the lyrics, it brought in a chord chart in G flat, and because I said there was a capo of E, it also imported another song select file in E for the capo 2 for G flat. So everything I need, it's all right there. It's done. It's added to the plan, and now I can reuse this file anytime in the future, and all that stuff is there. Good job, you did it. Okay, let's add another song. So I'm just gonna click the X on here to close this drawer. And now I'm back just to the simple version of my plan here. And I'm gonna add a new song. This time, instead of just clicking to add the song, I'm gonna drag it because I actually wanna do this other song before Who You Say I Am. So I'm gonna drag song right here. Notice I can put it at the end or I can put it there. So if you click, it adds it to the end. If you drag, you can put it right in the spot you want. So I'm gonna add that song right there in the middle. And I need to, by the way, you can see the song we already added now. There's our library, but I wanna add a new one. So once again, I'm gonna click new. Now instead of typing one, I'm gonna show you something else cool. Notice down here, or view a list of songs scheduled the most over the next 6 weeks by all churches who use Planning Center. Okay, so top songs. These are super popular songs that other churches are doing right now. So you can see for January 10th, these are the songs that lots of other churches are doing. This is great. So, they're ranked by the most popular songs, and you can move out to even all the way up to February 7th. Now, if any of these weeks were special, like Easter, Christmas Eve, it would even have a label that said Easter or Good Friday, so that you'd be like, oh yeah, people are planning specific songs for Easter, so I want to see what those are. But for January 10th, it's just a normal week. So here are the most popular songs, and I'm going to click on Waymaker because I think I want to do that one, and that is just a shortcut that now adds Waymaker. It searches the popular recordings, and I am going to choose this one by Mandisa. And it's going to now take me to the details of this. The arrangement name, yep, it's the Mandisa version of this. Key of A, sounds great. Upload or link more files. Actually, I'm going to do one small little thing here. I'm going to refresh and do this again for reasons I don't even need to explain to you. I'm going to quickly get back to where we just were. There we go. So because when we added that last song, we set up our song select integration. Now when I add new songs, it's instead of just this upload or link more files, it's going to actually just give us the option right there. Hey, well, right now while I'm making the song, do I want to import the song select lyrics and chart? Yes. So that saves me a step. So now I don't actually need to click upload or link more files because these are all the files that I personally want to upload to this right now. So let's just click submit. And now it has made me that song. It's linked it to this item. I've got my files and I am good to go. So if I did want to add more files, I can go here to the Files tab And at the bottom of files, I can add files to linked song. So what that means is it's not just going to add a file for this plan, it's going to add a file to the song Waymaker so that it's available every time in the future that I do it. So yeah, so let's do that. Let's add files, and I am going to upload a file. So I'm going to find my, where is it? I already have it here. Waymaker.mp3, here we go. I'm just going to drag that from my computer right onto this window, and it's going to upload that file for me. There it is, perfect. Waymaker, done. Okay, so now I've got Waymaker.mp3, it's here, and now I've got 3 files. So I've got audio and charts there. So now let me show you some rehearsal tools that you can get once you've added these. And you can do this, but once you schedule your team members for this, they'll also be able to do all of this. So I can click on this little 3 to see the files for each of these, but usually you don't want to do that. Usually you just want to get to all the files at once, and that is available in the Rehearse button up here. So from Rehearse, I've got 2 options here. The media player, let's click that. Now, I've only got one piece of media right now, that MP3 that I just uploaded, but it loads the media player down here at the bottom, and it loads my playlist. So all the MP3s that would be in this plan, they would all load up here and they would play one after the other. Right now I just have this one, but this is the best way to rehearse. And you can do this from the website or from our mobile app. So if you install Planning Center services from Android or iOS, it also has this media player. That's my favorite way. I just put that on my car and I'm listening to my whole playlist anywhere that I go, and it even downloads the file into the app so that it doesn't even have to stream them. So there's the media player. I'm going to close that out. And in addition, we've got the songbook. So I can make a songbook that includes the lyrics and other PDFs, and it can even include like a cover sheet for the order of service. And what that's going to do is it's going to compile all of the charts into one file. So instead of having to download every single one separately, download the songbook. You get them all at once. Now, we also have a product called Music Stand, which is an iPad or an app for your tablet that is like a sheet music reader. And I'm not going to have time to show it to you, but that basically just gets all of your charts and lets you swipe through them as you are playing or rehearsing, or even use a foot pedal to, like, as you hit the pedal, it turns the pages for you and you can take notes and you can do a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you're interested in that, look up in our help center, Music Stand. Okay, now let's put together just a little bit more of our service here. So I'm going to add another item, but I'm going to drag it to the very beginning of the service. And this is going to be our walk-in slides. And I'm going to make this 20 minutes, but walk-in is not during the services, it's before. So I'm going to choose before. So it's before all of my services. Perfect. Okay. Great. Let's close this. And what that does by setting it to before, let me show you this. So if you are timing out your service, you've got this length column. And you can see messages 30 minutes, 5:27, 4:01. So our total is put at the bottom here, 39 minutes. Which does not include the walk-in slides, because anything that's pre-service or post-service that you set as before or after, those items are not included in the total time, which is great because the walk-in slides should not, since it starts before the service, it shouldn't count towards your total length of the service. Another thing that you can do here is you have options for which columns to view. So I'm going to go to the top right of this table, and I've got this column menu. I've got lots of options here. So right now for times, I'm just viewing the length. But remember how we made this service to be at 9 and 11 a.m.? I can choose these times. And when I choose them, it's adding columns. So now I can actually see what time each of these items is probably going to happen. So the walk-in slides will be at 8:40, at 10:40. The message right now is the first thing in the set. At 9 and 11, and each thing is showing me when it is going to happen. Now, another thing you can do from this menu is if you've got a smaller monitor or if you've got a lot of things in your service, you can switch from expanded view to condensed view, And that's just going to make everything smaller so you can fit more on your screen. I'm going to keep it in expanded because I just like that one better. All right. The last thing we can do in our column menu is we can see those notes. Remember how we said Pastor Allen was going to do the message? It'd be nice if we could see that right here on the page without having to open it up. So let's actually turn on person notes right there. You see that? Now we've got a column for person. So any of those notes can be a column right here on the service. Now, every person that looks at this page gets to choose their own view. So what you're changing right now, your view options, your column options, they're just for you. Anybody else would have to set those up for themselves as well. So what's nice is you don't even have to open up an item to edit some of these things. I can actually say that Raquel is going to be leading Who You Say I Am. And I can just click and type it right there into the plan without having to open it up. Let's add another item. I'm just going to click to add it to the end of the service right now. And we're going to do baby dedications. And this is going to be 5 minutes, but we're only doing it at the 9 a.m. service. So it's not during all services, it is just during the 9 a.m. So let's uncheck 11 a.m. Perfect. And now let's see what's happening here. So in the service order, because we're viewing the 9 and 11 service, you can see it's happening at the 9 service, but it's blank at 11. So now, but I must not have set, the time didn't get set. Sorry, 5 minutes. Let's change that. Okay, so now you can see the 9 a.m. service is going 5 minutes longer. It's at 9:44 it ends, but the 11 is at 11:39. So they each have a different length because baby dedications has been excluded from one of them. Now there's a shortcut. If I say, hey, you know what, baby dedications is also at the 11 a.m., I can just hover right here and I can say include. And now it includes that and it adjusts the times. Or I can hover back over it and exclude it. So including and excluding items for just one of your times is pretty cool. Okay, let's add one more thing here. And this time I'm going to show you another way to add, and that is with shortcut keys. You can just type letters on your keyboard to do things fast. So if you want to add an item, you hit I on your keyboard. Boom. You don't even have to click any buttons. It adds an item to the end of your plan. And I'm going to type announcements. And my announcements are going to be 3 minutes. I've already cut and paste my announcements. I'm going to put those in the description here. And then I'm going to tab down to person. That's going to be Matt. And then enter, and that closes that. Perfect. But I do want these in a different spot. So I can just move over here to the left with this little handle, and I can drag this up to where I want it to be in the service. This service is a weird one. It's like no songs at the beginning, they're all at the end. But it's just an example. Okay. One more item we're going to add here. So let's once again hit our I key. But this time, if I want to add an item at a specific spot with the shortcut key, if I move my mouse over the message and now I hit the I shortcut key, it's actually going to put that item right above the thing that I was hovering over. So those shortcut keys even work differently based on where your mouse currently is. So I know I need to do a song here, but I don't know what song it's going to be. So I want to add a placeholder item. So I'm just going to say song. I'm still just adding it as an item because I am not ready to link it to a song. So I'm just going to say we're going to do probably like a 5-minute song and we'll figure this out later. So I hit enter and I've got song. Now, when it's time to figure out what that song is going to be, how would I do that? I would click here on song to open it up in the sidebar. And then I need to link this to a song. So down here on the bottom, I'm going to switch from notes to song. There is no song linked to this item. So let's link a song. So I would click link a song and then I would choose a song in my library and that would link it to that song and bring in all of the files. The last thing that we haven't really added yet are headers. So if you want to break up your service into like different sections, we can go up here to add and we can drag a header. Let's say right over the message. And now I'm going to say this is the message. We don't get a whole lot of options for headers. They are just a way to sort of put a big bar over the middle of your service just to organize it a little bit better. Okay, let's say that service order is good. If you want to add like a title to this service, we can also do that. So here at the top where it says Contemporary Service, we've got a little menu next to Contemporary Service, and I am going to click and see what's there. Okay, right now we're just calling this Contemporary Service, but I know what this message is going to be about. So I'm going to first say this. At our church, we put our sermons in a series. So like 4 weeks on this and then 5 weeks on this. So I'm going to add a series here. This is totally optional. Let's add a series. And, I've already got one here. So I'm going to click that. And if I didn't have one, I would just, let's say I would just type that in. Let's just create a new one anyway. Pursued 2. And I click that to make a new series. And it's linked it to this plan, but there's no series art. So I can click Add here. And now I'm going to go to my desktop, and here it is. There's the image, choose for upload, and now it uploads that graphic, submit. And it has now made a series. And now I've got that nice series artwork at the top of my plan just to help me know where I'm at in my sermon series. But I also want to add a title for this series. So I'm going to click the little menu here and say add a plan title. And this is just going to be called Pursued to Love. Okay, so I can still tell that I'm part of, that I'm at the Contemporary Service. It just moves up a little bit because I'm referring to this plan now by its title and series. Now, once you add a series title or a plan title, when you go to new plans, it's already going to have a place for you just to really quickly add them. It's going to be even faster for you to add them in the future. Okay, next thing we're going to set up are our times. So we've got service times over here in the left already, but I want to add some rehearsal times because my band and my vocalists need to come to rehearsals. So at the top of the time section is also an add button. So I'm going to click add here. And first thing we choose is what kind of a time is this? It's not a service time. We've already added our 9 and 11 service times. So this is actually a rehearsal time. So I'm going to switch over to rehearsal. And rehearsal times can be named. So I'm going to name this rehearsal time band rehearsal. I'm going to choose the date. It is on the Thursday before at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And now I need to assign teams. Which teams are supposed to be at this time? Well, remember you might not remember, but when we first created the service, we created a couple of teams. So here are the teams that I created. So who should be at the band rehearsal? The band. So I'm going to choose this. Now, for those of you that already have accounts that are set up, this is something that people get wrong a lot, is that all the teams are assigned to everything. So you want to make sure that the only teams that you see here under assigned teams are the teams that are actually supposed to be at this specific time. So if you see teams that are not supposed to be here, you can click the little minus button to get rid of them so that they're not assigned anymore. But I'm going to add this back. So the band. And then once I say the band is supposed to be at this, there's an option to have a reminder. So Planning Center services can send out automatic reminder emails. Not everybody wants this, and you don't want to always use this, but there are some great reasons to set this up. So if your team members are the same every single week, your drummer serves every single week, you don't need to send out reminders. That's annoying. They're not going to forget. They're on every week. If you have teams that are rotating every other week, or it's not the same people every week, then reminders can be really helpful to remind them when it is they're supposed to serve. So I'm going to set a reminder for the band on Monday of that week. So they will get an email, and if they set it up, they can also get a text for that, so that they remember at the beginning of that week, hey, this is your week. You're supposed to be here on Thursday, and if for some reason they forgot, you still have 3 days for maybe them to find somebody else. But that never happens, does it? No, never does. One other tip. You usually only want to remind your team once for the plan. So if you So you don't want to remind your people, you don't want to set up a reminder for Thursday rehearsal and then another reminder for Sunday morning. That's too many emails. If they show up on Thursday and then they forget that they're supposed to be there on Sunday, you've got more problems than Planning Center can help you solve. So you just don't want to over email your people. So choose one time, usually the first one in the week, and set the reminder up for that. Perfect. I'm going to save this. And there, now I've got my band rehearsal at 7 p.m. and it even color codes the days of the week. Thursday happens to be pink, so it just makes it a little bit easier to see. There's another type of time. So I'm going to click add to add one more time here. And you've got services, rehearsals, other times. This is any other time that you want to keep track of, like what is call time. So I'm going to say call time for the band and vocals. It's on Sunday morning, and for the 9 a.m. service, they have to be there at 7:30 a.m. So let's just say 7:30 to 8 o'clock. And I'm going to select all my teams here. So vocals and band, no reminders because they already got one. And now I've got a call time. So there we go. So your rehearsals, your call times, any other times. Now, some churches get mixed up and they put lots of things that are not supposed to, that should go over here. They put them as pre-service items, like pre-service prayer, like something that's just for your team members. You don't want to put those things in your service order. You want to make those things times, because times can be assigned to your teams. Planning Center now knows that anyone in the band is booked from 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. It's going to show up on their calendar. It's going to show up when they log into the site. Things that you put in the service order, people don't, it's not going to show up in all those other places. So you want to make sure that any of those times are over here as either a rehearsal or as an other time. Okay, so each of these sections in the left-hand sidebar, you can close these up if you want. I can actually close the whole time section by clicking on times, and it because all those sections are closed, it shrinks everything out of the way. But I can click these icons to see those other sections. So here's teams. We're not going to talk about teams today. That's going to be in the PCU tomorrow on scheduling. So I'm going to, we've also got files. This would be files that are about this whole plan. You usually don't want to use this section. Don't use this until you know what you're doing. Most files you want to add to a song, not over here to the plan, because these plan files only ever are available from January 10th in this particular plan. Then we've got notes. These are notes that pertain to this whole plan. So you might add a note for if you have a choir. Choir is wearing blue this week. Or if you have a security system at your church that changes out, like the door code this week is 1, 2, 3, 4. You can put those things. It's notes you want people to be able to see that are not specific to an item in your plan. And then contributors actually shows you who has been editing your plan. So you can see times, Aaron Stewart, I updated a time 2 minutes ago, and in the order. Look, I added a plan item 9 minutes ago, and I updated the titles 8 minutes ago. So this is a great way to see kind of what's going on in case things are changing, in case other people that you give editor rights to are changing things around. That will help you sort of know what's going on. All right. Once you have your whole plan done, you can usually just access it on the mobile app on your phone, but you might want to print it out. So at the very top right of the plan is a print button. And when you click that print button, you can choose from one of our built-in reports, or you can choose the standard report. In the standard report, you get to choose which times are on this. You can choose a whole bunch of different options, and it will print out that plan for you. Once we're done with this plan and you're ready to make a new plan, how do you do that? Well, right up here where it says January 10th, we've got buttons that would let you go to the previous plan. There is none. Or to the next plan. Since there is no next plan, instead, it gives me a button to add a new plan. So I'm going to click this little plus button right here, and this will add another plan. And it's going to make one new plan. I could say make a whole bunch of them. It's going to copy the times from this January 10th plan, and it's going to make it on January 17th. Awesome. So I click add one. didn't really have to do anything. And now I have a January 17th plan, and now you can see it's got a spot for me to quickly add the series and the plan information like I mentioned before. You did it! We have successfully started from scratch. We set up our SongSelect integration. We added songs. We put a whole service order together, our times, reminders, and we added another plan. So that is what it takes to sort of get started in services. Now, what we recommend when you get started is just add one thing at a time. You don't necessarily need to go in and add all the songs that you've ever done. Just add the songs you're going to do this week, put together this service order, and make a couple of them, and then over the next couple of months, as you learn what you're doing, the rest of your songs will just get input automatically. And then at a certain point, if you really want to, you can go and put in all the history of the things that you've done in the past. So now that we're done with setting up from scratch, we're going to move into part 2 of today's PCU. And that is going to be first talking about organization, and then we're going to be talking about efficiency. So how can we be more organized? Well, we're going to start by going to our song library. So far I showed you accessing the song library from within a single plan, but you can just get to your songs library on its own by clicking on the Songs tab at the very top of the page. So we click on Songs, and now I'm just at my song library, and you can see I've already made 2 songs that we just made in the plan. It's the same songs, everything is all linked from right there. So I am going to go into Who You Say I Am by clicking it. And this is what the song and a song arrangement sort of look like. So I've got Who You Say I Am, and I've got we're at the Hillsong Worship. It imported the length, the beats per minute, the tempo, the song sequence. Any of these things can be changed. These were based on the popular recording of that, but if you don't do it like the recording, I can click on sequence right here, and I can say I don't want to do 4,000 bridges. So I can just delete a bridge, delete a tag, delete all these things if I want, save, and now I've got my own customized version sequence of that song. We're going to get a little bit more organized by adding a new arrangement of this song. So we normally do the Hillsong Worship version based on the recording, but sometimes at the end of the service, we do an acoustic version that's just guitar. It's a different sequence. It's a little bit slower, and I have different chord chart for it. So I'm not going to put all those things on this Hillsong Worship. I'm going to add a new version, a new arrangement. So here to the left, I can see the list of my arrangements. Hillsong Worship, I'm going to click Add at the bottom here, and I'm going to add a new one. Now, this one is not going to be based on a popular recording. So I could search for another version of this song, another popular recording, but this is just my own. So I'm just going to type acoustic, and look, create a new arrangement. Yeah. So I'm going to create my own arrangement called acoustic. Then I am going to select a key here, and I'm going to make it in the key of D, and I am going to import the song select lyrics and the chord chart here, and I will now click submit. So now I've got the Hillsong Worship version over here and the acoustic version. It's importing from SongSelect. There, it's done. It's got my SongSelect file attached to the key of D because I have a different chord chart for every key. And then I've got my lyrics just attached to just the acoustic arrangement of this song because the lyrics don't change even if the key changes. So I am going to add a new key to this song. So let's click down here to add a key. So I've got my arrangement, the key of D. Let's say I want to do this in, let's say E flat. So I'm going to click E flat, and my description, I can put a description here. So this is going to be the high key, for instance. I can add a capo. It knows capo 1 is D. Awesome. And I'm going to download the chord chart for this new key, and I'm going to click save. So now I've got my arrangement, my key of D, and my key of E. It's importing my songs from SongSelect right now. It got my capo and my regular chord chart right there. They're good to go. We can preview those. So if I click right here on this, it's going to open up a preview of that particular file, and this is my D for capo 1 for E flat by SongSelect. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go back to my key of D, and I can click on it or click the pencil, and I want to type a description on this. So my description for D, this is my original key. I like putting a description for each key so that when I'm choosing them, I remember what I use those for. Oh, D is the original and E flat is the high key, or it's the, let's say I don't want it to be high. Let's say this is the male version. When I have a male worship leader, they lead it in the E flat key. Or you can put a person's name in there. Oh, it's always Aaron that leads it in E flat. So those key descriptions can be really helpful for you there. Now, let's add some more files. So for this arrangement, I've got my files and I've got the little plus icon here. So I am going to click the plus here and show you some of these other options. So we're going to upload some new files, and I'm going to go back to my desktop and I am going to upload 2 files. So I'm going to select both of these files and I'm going to go back over to here. I drag them. Oh, actually, I don't want to do it this way. I'm going to escape on this. You can drag them right onto the page. So I don't even have to open that file box up there. I can drag these files and I can drag them either to the arrangement or to a key. So let's just drag these to the arrangement. And that's the quickest way to upload files, is just drag them right onto the place you want them to go. Now, who you say I am this in D, I put it in the wrong spot. No problem. I can just drag this right over into D so that that D chord chart now belongs with the key of D. That's great. And my audio file belongs for all keys over here. Back in my files box, we've got SongSelect, praise charts. You can enable a praise charts integration, and they've got lots of different types of files like lead sheets or orchestra versions or hymns, a whole bunch of different things that you purchase one at a time. We've also got Rehearsal Mix. Rehearsal Mix gives you the ability to listen to the original recording with any instrument turned up. So, hey, my bass player wants to know how to play this song better. Well, they can hear this actual popular recording with the bass part turned way up to help learn that song. Rehearsal Mix, Praise Charts, and SongSelect, those are all separate companies, so you do have to sign up and pay for things with them. But if you do, Planning Center makes it super easy for you just to import that stuff right away. Then down here, we can import from link from iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. Let's go to YouTube. So YouTube, if I want to have a version of this, I can click, yep, I can preview it. And if I want to choose this one, I just click the plus button right here. Boom. It now has a YouTube link to that. I can click and watch that particular video there. Or if I add this to a plan, I can watch it from there. Okay, Planning Center lets you add or link files, but it also lets you create your own files as well. And that is from our lyrics and chords button. So let's click on that, lyrics and chords. Now, when we created the song, we said import the lyrics from SongSelect. Where did those go? They went right here. So it automatically got the lyrics from SongSelect and put them right here, and that's how it's making the lyrics file. But we can actually, if we wanted to, we could turn this into our own chord chart by typing chords into this. So we could, first I'm going to say this is in the key of D, and I can either type chords above, so I could say, whom the sun sets free, D, da-da-da, oh, is free. And I can type the chords there, and that's going to, as I'm typing on the left, it's showing me a preview of them on the right, but it will then transpose it to any key. So I am previewing this in the original key, but I can change original key and I can say, what would this be in B flat? And I can click B flat, and now it just shows me what this would be like in B flat. Now, there's another way to add chords here. Instead of putting them above, this is actually not the best way to do it. Instead of putting them above here, it's actually better to put them next to the lyric in brackets. So I'm gonna move that to there. Oh, and we're gonna put this here. And oops, I put it right in the middle of a word, but that actually works out fine. The reason you want to put your chords in between here is because if you change fonts, if you change to a key that has like lots of flats, it can change, like chords might need more room. Like if you go from the key of C to the key of G flat, all your chords take up twice the amount of space because they all have flats next to them and they can bump into each other. So when you put them like this is called Chord Pro. That will allow you to, let me just show you. So if I put D, E minor, and then F, over here on the right, you're gonna see it has added spacing between these words to make sure that the chords don't bump into each other specifically for that. And in fact, I could make this even more clear. Let's say this is like D over F sharp. Now there's like even less room. It is going to, where did it go? It's added even more space when it transposed it to make sure that the chords always line up above the syllables. So that is called Chord Pro. And you can search that in our help if you want to remember, but it's just putting the chords in brackets. There's also some options up here. This Learn Chord Pro will take you right to our documentation and it will teach you this as well. So once I add chords to this, Planning Center now will make that available as a chord chart. We already added some chord charts to here, but when I go back here, I have new chord charts here. This chord chart in D is the one that Planning Center made, and it made chord chart in E flat and this capo one. Plus I still have the Song Select PDFs there. So if you want to make your own chord charts, you can do that from the Lyrics and Chords editor, and it will transpose it into any key that you want. Now you can also transpose audio files to any key. So we uploaded this audio file a while ago, but I want to be able to hear that so that my musicians can practice it in E flat. No problem. I can either hover over the file and I can click this little transpose icon, or I can go up here next to files and we've got the transpose audio icon here as well. So I'm gonna transpose audio. It found the only audio file on this page for me. And I'm going to say I want to transpose this from D up to E flat. And yeah, this all looks good. So I hit transpose and it's preparing the transposition. So this is going to take it a minute, but you're going to see it happen. And once it's ready, it's going to show up in this list. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does it sound like? Well, as long as the closer you transpose, you're hardly going to notice it. From D to E flat, you're barely going to even notice it. The speed never changes. The only thing that will ever change is the vocals start to sound a little chipmunky or a little Darth Vader-y if you go far away from the original key. But it's still in the same tempo and your musicians can still play along with it to practice, and that is the purpose of this. All right, so it finished and it knows it's an E flat, so it put that E flat version right here. I could click on that, it's gonna open up the media player, and now I get to listen to that file down here, which I'm not gonna do, but that's where it goes. Okie dokie. The last thing that I wanna show you here is we've got tags. Now tags are a way to organize your files, and we can go in, oh, you know what? I'm supposed to be in a different organization. I was supposed to switch. I'm gonna do that now, sorry. I'm gonna go, I have a different church that has things already set up that will make this a lot better. So I'm gonna get to Who You Say I Am, get back to where I was in my different, oh, but I didn't add that, it's okay. So I've got my tags here, and tags are a way to organize your songs. So I've got this version of Who You Say I Am, the Hillsong Worship, tagged as medium speed. Awesome. I can add other tags for style. So I'm gonna say this is contemporary. Great. So it adds that style to the list there. I lost my place of where I am right now. So I'm gonna, okay, got it. So that's how you basically add tags to your song arrangement. So now let's go back to the song page itself. And this is my other account, so that's why all of a sudden there's all these songs, because I've built up this song library. And when you have more than one arrangement of a song, you can see those from this page by clicking the little arrow next to a song and expanding it. So for 10,000 Reasons, I've got 3 different arrangements of that song, and each one has its own tempo, is it in its own keys. But But when I close that, I can just sort of see the song by itself, and it's just a little bit cleaner of a view to see that. So now let me show you some powerful filtering tools to be even more organized. So when I go to filter, I can say, let's filter by songs that start in the key of D. It adds this little filter pill up here, and now I'm just seeing 24 songs in the key of D. I want to look over here. Oh, tags. I'm going to switch over to tags, and I want to filter by speed. So I want to find just my medium songs. You know what? I want medium or fast. So I'm going to click fast as well. And now I'm finding 15 songs that are in the key of D and are either medium or fast. So the labels, not the labels, these pills, the logic here is anything inside of one pill is an or. So it's fast or medium. And then anything between is and. So it's in the key of D and is either fast or medium. So that's how I'm getting 15 different songs here. So we're gonna put another filter on here. I'm actually going to show you that, see how these filters are gray? When gray means if I leave this page and come back, these filters are gonna be gone. So if I go to my media page and then I come back to the songs page, there's no more filters. Let's say I want some filters to always be there. Well, let me show you what that would be like. So I'm gonna go to my filters panel over here again, to tags, and I wanna find, I'm gonna use my type, and I'm gonna find, look, I have chorus, hymn, instrumental, or special song. Mostly I'm looking for worship choruses. So I'm going to choose chorus as a tag, and I'm gonna click on this tag, this pill up here, and I'm gonna pin it at the bottom. And when I pin that, it turns yellow. That means every time I come to this page, this filter is I'm always gonna see choruses by default. Let's add an extra thing here. So I have made my own tag called season. And I've got Christmas, Easter, patriotic. So, well, Christmas is over. I don't want to see my Christmas songs. So actually, I want to find songs that have none, that do not have a season. So I'm going to click none. And so now I'm finding all of my songs that are worship choruses, non-seasonal. This is actually like what I usually want to see now. So I can change this to a pinned filter as well. And now every time I come to my song library, I'm just going to see my regular worship choruses. Then, when it's time to plan for Christmas or Easter, I can just click right here on this pill. I can change this and say, yeah, I want to see Easter. And now I don't have any in this account, so let's change that to Christmas. So let's say I want to see Christmas, and now I'm finding 7 choruses that are Christmas. So this is a great way to kind of have whole different libraries, is by using pinned filters. If you want to set up your own tags, from this tags panel over here in the filters, you can scroll to the bottom and there's an edit tags button. You can also go to the gear, the settings button at the top of the songs page. And this is where you have a lot of options to set up your song select, praise charts, rehearsal mix integrations, manage your files, CCLI settings, or edit tags right there. So this is where I went to edit tags and I created that season filter by clicking add a tag group, and then I added options to that season, and then I was able to apply that to all of my songs. Now, there is even a way to bulk update songs. So let's say I want to make sure that I have speed set on all of my songs. I'm going to clear out these by clicking on these pills and just hitting delete on my keyboard. So let me go back to tags and say speed none. So here are all of my songs that do not have a speed set. Okay, I want to set it on some of these. So I'm going to click the little pencil up here for bulk edit. And I'm going to bulk edit arrangements because speed is for arrangements. So that's going to show me a little checkbox here. And I want to say, yeah, cornerstone and all. Let's just do these 2. Those 2 are selected. Now I'm going to bulk edit and I'm going to say, I want to add a tag for medium. And I'm going to click Update to Arrangements. And now everything that I've selected, it's just now updated and made medium speed. So now I can filter based on that. The last thing we're going to talk about here is just that there are song reports. You've got a reports button up here, and this you can see how often you've done your songs, which plans you've done them at. You can get a rehearsal license report if you want to share audio files with your team legally. You need to have a license for that, and CCLI gives you a rehearsal license. Or if you use Rehearsal Mix and you get their audio files, that just comes with their own license. Anyway, there are reports for you. We also have the Media tab. I'm not really going to go into this. Media is used if you show videos during your service. It's used if you have documents, like if you have drama, if you have a script for a drama program, or if you have a liturgical reading that you do, the Apostles' Creed. You do that every once in a while. You don't want to have to create that every time. You can make that a media item, and when you click Add Media, you get to choose what type it is. And you would say, oh, audio, countdown, document, drama, image, any of those things. And this gives you a way to organize those other types of files that are just not song files. So anything that's not a song that you want to organize, you can do that on the media page. So let's talk for our last little bit about efficiency. We just talked about organization and now efficiency. So I'm going to go back to my September 26th plan. And not back, we haven't been to that one yet. I went earlier today, but you haven't seen it. So here's a plan that is already made. And I'm going to show you templates. So sometimes instead of making a new plan from scratch, you want to just import a whole bunch of items that you use over and over again. For my church, for this fake church, we do communion once a month. And every time we do communion, a couple of items get added. So instead of me having to remember what those are and type them, I can just import a template. So what I'm going to do is up here where I get to, there we go. Up here, I can click Add. And instead of adding an item, header, song, or media, I can actually import a template. So we're going to go to that. And I have already made some templates, so I'm just showing you that, but I've made a whole bunch of templates. Some of them are for scheduling teams, and some of them are for items in the service. So I'm going to click my communion template. I'm going to import the items to this plan, to the September 26th plan. Perfect. Submit. And now it brought in all 4 of these items: communion, setup, song, pass the elements, and prayer. It brought all those things into this plan. They're still in that template, but it made it fast for me to get that. So where do you go to set up your templates? Well, you're going to go to your service type settings. There's a couple ways to get there, but the fastest way, honestly, is when you're in a plan, click on the service type name. So that's contemporary service. So right up here, I see contemporary service. I can just click on the contemporary service, and here are all the options for my contemporary service, including the templates. So here are all those templates that you just saw. There's my communion template, and if I go into it, you'll see the things that were there. So that's what was just imported into my plan. Another way to be really efficient is instead of looking at one plan at a time, you can look at lots of plans at a time using a tool called the Matrix. Now, the Matrix can be loaded for just one service, or you can see plans across a whole bunch of different services. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Matrix right here at the top. So first of all, I'm on the plans page. And for the contemporary service, I'm going to go over to Matrix, and I'm just going to click it. And it's going to load up a different plan in each column. So I can see December 24th, January 10th, 17th, and then other plans that I have for later this year. And each one of these, I can see what's happening in my order of service. I can drag and drop. So this January 10th, I don't have planned yet. If I want to do Lion and Lamb, I can just drag it over right from next week onto this week. and I want to do Blessed Be Your Name, and I can drag those. The matrix has a lot of different sections, and I can open and close them. So order of service, close that up, and now I can see who's in my band. I can see those plan notes, and this is a great way to sort of do some long-term planning in the matrix. The last thing I'm going to show you for efficiency is the fastest way to get around services. Instead of having to go to the songs page, go to the media page, go to a person, there is a universal search available. And that is this magnifying glass icon right up here to the right that you can click from anywhere. And I can type who you say I am. Boom, there it is. I can hit enter. It's going to take me directly to that. There's even a shortcut key. You can hit the /, which is under the question mark from any page, and it just automatically opens that search. And I can type the name of a team, band. It's going to go to that band list there. I can do it again, and I can get to a media or a person. I can get to my own profile from there. So that universal search is the fastest way to get anywhere in your account and be the most efficient. So that's a lot of stuff that we covered. We kind of had to go fast there in the second half because services does like a million things. There's way more to be seen. There's a feature called attachment types that lets you hide files for people. So if you have an orchestra and you've got lots of different files and you don't want everybody to have to wade through a lot of files, you can just show individual people just files meant for them. That's called attachment types. Look it up. There's a feature called Services Live. This is sort of like a teleprompter that during your service, like in the green room backstage or in different rooms throughout the church, you can actually see on screen real big like what's happening with a countdown until what the next item is. There's a video that we have that shows what that is. That's called Services Live. I already mentioned Planning Center Music Stand. That is our tablet app that lets you go through your music on a tablet. And there's a lot more. So make sure that you browse around through our help site. If you just click that question mark there at the top right, not only can you search for things, you can just click browse our documentation. You're just looking to find out all the things that services does. Click browse our documentation right there, and that's going to take you to the services help center, and you can go to either getting started for more articles on how to be brand new, or you can go to just our full documentation using services, and it's broken up into lots of different sections. Here you can learn about licenses and copyrights, how you give different people different permissions so that some people can edit your plans and some people can just view them. So much more is available, and you can learn it all from there. Or you can attend our other PCU on scheduling, our other services PCU on scheduling tomorrow. Or if you watch this later, it's already available for you. So you can watch this again later or watch any of the rest of our Planning Center courses from YouTube or from planningcenter.com/university.